that you did from yesterday?
Fucking hell, what a fight that was, man.
Alright, I'm gonna watch it later.
What? At the beginning, he whooped me badly till I woke up.
Oh, 1 second. Do a respawn for me, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Couldn't see 30 and I thought, Alright.
Yeah, Pixie and Trigger, they are really good on the flanker, and you have to sweat your balls off to compete there.
Okay. Good to go.
Does the flanker outrate the F-16, or?
Not really.
I'm about to get in a rate fight, and I want to know if I'm going to lose it or not.
It's pretty equal.
It'll defend far more on just the rate numbers alone.
Yeah, it's very equal, but the flanker might have sustained a little bit of the tighter radius.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a tighter radius, yeah.
And threaten you with the surprise high alpha shot, but such thing happens. What I've seen, what I've tried, they rate pretty cool together. Like,
alright, so see, it looks like you extended a little bit for energy, and now you're going to the sky, so I'm going to use that time to extend myself. Expecting you to come down, so I'm going to cash in here and kind of see what happens. Use God's G to my advantage. I would surmise it'll descend into a rate, which, yeah, it's just what it's going to kind of descend to. I'm going to bite here too, just to see. There we go.
You're definitely out.
That's something.
Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't
Expecting you to go around the circle, I'm going to go vertical and try to catch you on the other side of the circle. I see you going vertical, I'm going to go ahead and just extend for some knots while you go vert.
Wait.
I don't want to go nose to nose with you because you have nothing to lose.
Stackhouse, what arena are you in?
Arena 2, me and Fred.
Oh, yeah, I am Fred. But, okay, sorry, I thought you were talking about somebody else.
Oh, no.
Bit of confusion there.
Alright, so you're turning laterally now. I'm going to start pulling in lead, expecting to catch on the other side of the circle. You're reacting to that. And goes for the reversal, not bad. I'm going to extend and maintain my energy rather than accepting that fight with you. Your energy state is lower, and that certainly cost more for you than it did for me. So just staying out of guns, and I'll continue this fight kind of on my terms at least.
I'm streaming it from Iceman Fred's view, and the instructor is a 5. So that's so cool.
There we go. See you fly under me here. I'm going to go ahead and see it react, start pulling lead. And see, we might initiate a flat here. I'll be ready for it. Which we don't, so it's going to maintain in a rate. Who's going to be offensive will be decided in the next turn, most likely. Getting back up to rate speed here. I'm going to go ahead and go lag for a second just to relieve some angles. Did kind of a reversal. I'm trying to get on his flight path, pulling the lead. I'm going to bite here. Got another here. I'm going to go lag.
You got me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I have to say that, from my view, sorry, I have to say Iceman Fred has a really, really good stick discipline at the slower speeds. He never overpulls too much. Right?
Yeah.
But, and that's very good. And he gains energy quickly back, which is sometimes not easy to do in a 16. But he got slow over the time, so you were basically dominating the fight around him, right?
Yeah, from the beginning. Yeah, it's true.
So I think for him, like he's good on stick discipline, and my idea is that he's good on stick discipline because he's very good on stick discipline because he doesn't react and fly
and up gas again,
what
Dragon.
the enemy is doing, which is where he probably has developed this amazing skill of being really great at stick discipline, sticking to a speed, sticking to a rate, sticking to.
Dragon, do you want to jump in Arena 2?
But what I want to challenge you, Iceman, is
you want to jump in the Arena 3 comms?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Yeah, oh, shall we? Oh, well, Stacks,
yeah, we'll
shall we just
up so we don't
go to Arena 2 as well?
Yeah, let's go to Arena 2.
Yeah, because we're all talking over each other. So
There we go.
There we go. That's better. All right, respawn. And you were saying something. Stack.
So what I would challenge you to do is to perhaps kind of get an internal monologue going. I want you to observe the enemy, right? This like speak in your mind about what are they doing, and I want you to actually speak to yourself in your head or out loud about how you're going to actually react to what they are doing and to do what. If you verbalize that a little bit more, or at least in the beginning, you're going to find that you're not actually planning out your moves in terms of like 2 or 3 moves ahead. A lot of times I feel as if you're kind of at this stalemate where you're kind of like waiting, you're seeing, you're waiting, you're seeing, but you're not actively kind of creating problems. And there is some element, right? You're either offensive or you're defensive, right? We definitely know that. But there is a certain point where you are defensive, but you are also kind of offensive at the same time, right? And that's the time like when you're kind of on the cusp where you're just slightly defensive and you have the opportunity to kind of change things in your favor, or the biggest opportunity, right? And that's when, like, that's what, in my opinion, kind of separates like a pilot like, you know, AS versus, yeah, I don't know, Dragon, or, you know, AS versus me, because there's these very small windows of time that we capitalize on, even if either of us are slightly defensive, to at best become more offensive and at worst neutralize the situation. And that's what kind of, I'll say in air quotes, lesser players, you know, less knowledgeable players are kind of missing, amongst other things, but that's one of the things.
But what I'm seeing like is like Iceman Fred, if he sees opportunities, aka enough energy, enough turning room, he will take them, right? So if they present themselves, he will really take them. But he doesn't really headlock you. Like, he doesn't really box you into the control zone. But if you go into scissors, if you go into scissors with him, then he's very, very evil, like very dangerous. There he is really good. So,
but see, the thing with scissors though is that like that's a very like that doctrine is pretty definite, right? It's dangerous, but it's pretty definite in that, okay, you go into scissors, you pull lag, right? If you're at a good speed, right? If you're at a certain position, like, you're going to win in like aircraft. It's this element outside of, you're in scissors, you're in a roller, you are rating on the ground. It's like these transitional times that which is, you know, where you could probably use the most improvement, so that you can control when you enter scissors. Like, for example, so that example, when you reversed on that last game, right? I said out loud, I see he's reversing. I'm not going to play that game because I know that you spent much more to do that reversal. And I know psychologically and both in reality, you were in a much more an inferior position to me. Right? That was me reacting not only to what I wanted to happen, but what you were doing so that I could control the situation, rather than being stuck into this path of like, okay, he's going down, up, now we're in scissors, bite the scissors, right? And you just go. I don't know if you can kind of tell the difference I'm getting at here. Maybe I'm just going in circles.
Yeah. I think that the problem is if I get into a neutral situation, or one where, as like you describe it, where there's a very thin line between offensive and defensive, is that I sometimes just don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to take it further, and there I get into a bit of a mental and psychological block, because I get frustrated and then I get impatient, and the fight is then over, basically.
And that's where the practice comes from.
Basically,
that's where the practice comes from, and doing it, you know, by feel, where you're able to kind of assess in a split second. And sometimes I do it too, where like you'll hear me and I'll make an assessment, and then a second later I'm like, I think I got that one wrong, right? But like that's flying by the seat of your pants.
Two circles and scissors, in my opinion, they end how they begin, right? Because they are commitments of neutrality, and if you can initiate them with an advantage, that's usually you can drag that initial advantage out of it. Two circles and scissors in those special committed situations. Let's see.
Okay, so I'm slightly more offensive than where I want to be, but we have a lot of spacing right now, so I know that this is.
I'm blind, dude. So I'm not even
Top
fighting
canopy,
you now.
top canopy.
Huh?
Oh,
okay,
respawn,
he ejected.
respawn, we're good.
He ejected.
Respawn? Okay, yeah.
Yep,
You
yep.
you guys have legs again?
Have what?
Mhm.
Legs.
Oh,
spikes?
lag. Yeah, yeah.
Lag,
On the
yeah.
merge, he teleported for
I'm
me
gonna
a
have
bit.
to live with that a little bit here. If you see lag, just
Oh,
feel
the
free to call
server is
respawn.
crowded, dude.
Yeah, it's like 50 people in here.
We
Dude,
have a
after-
dogfight. We have a dogfight Euphoria the last couple of months in these years.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep. Yep. It's like
So
after
good.
New Year, it was just mad.
I think it's on the patches. We're getting the lag even when AS hosts his own server.
Okay.
All right, looking
Yeah,
at your
I don't
ground
know.
speed, you're just under 500.
Just my
which is
PC
fine.
is not a server.
I'm gonna come in a little bit over that because I want to have a bit more energy at the top. Yeah, we'll see how
Hey,
we
Captain,
use
by
it.
the way.
Looking back at you now, kind of assessing how you navigate your rate, and I see you're moving around your circle faster than I am, and that's because I'm at a much higher speed and a bigger radius than you. So I'm gonna see. They're about equalizing. I'm gonna bite here and kind of see how you react.
Captain,
Oh,
it's on stream. It's
and
instructor day. So
Frozen and oh no, there we go. Okay,
It's
I
what?
see you still.
Instructor day?
Instructor day, trainings day, and with stream because Stackhouse is so good at explaining.
All right, I see your intentions. Your intentions is to go vertical, come down. I want to deny you turning room because I don't want you to just fucking come right down on my 6 o'clock. And I pulled way too hard, so that sucks. But I'm gonna just go ahead and deal with that. Sometimes psychologically, it looks on my side, you know, it looks like I'm in a better position than I am, but I was in a really bad spot there. Assessing your energy state, your energy is definitely higher than mine, your total energy. I see you're coming back down. I'm going to pull in just to deny turning room here. Not at the best speed that I want to be. You're a quick snapshot, miss. And I'm going to take this time to go back to a rate. I bet that turn cost you a lot of energy, and I want to exploit that when you came back over. I'm going to come back down. Start pulling in the lead. I'm at about 300 knots, relieving stick pressure, and this is. It might be defensive in a couple turns. We'll see. We'll see. This is who wins. This is going to be decided over who manages their energy a bit better in the next 3 or 5 turns. So we'll see what kind of
Transitioning
happens.
from horizontal to vertical,
Yeah.
and verticals can be very tricky on the bottom and on the top.
All right, so not doing too bad. You're kind of in the front of my canopy, so I feel a bit offensive, but I also know that looks can be deceiving. So I'm not really, I haven't fully formulated an opinion just yet. I think in probably 2 turns, I will be firmly offensive based off of what's happening right now. So I'm going to see, I'm going to collapse this radius on top of you. All right, I see you changing around your turn circle. I'm going to go ahead and go down for a little bit of energy, giving some turning room, giving up some angles for some energy. Try to navigate to that control zone again. And you neutralized that pretty well with what you had, so good job on that. Let's see what this turns into. And in a
That's
few
great
turns,
solution.
I might be defensive, actually, depending on how you manage this energy. So I'm not going to take this fight because I know you're pulling really hard to come around that turn circle. So I'm just going to go ahead and go vertical. I'm going to allow that to happen. I'm going to accept you in the rear half of my canopy and see how things kind of work out over the next few turns and decide how I need to handle things.
Yeah, Iceman Fred
Yeah.
was inside the roller, but he was fast enough and close enough to deny you any turning room with your excessive energy.
Alright, so you know what, I'm gonna bite for it since I'm on top. And of course I'm... And this is a bad spot for me to be, so I'm gonna dump out of this. I don't want that fight. I'm not even gonna bother. That was a one-time opportunity. I know that. And now the best thing I can do is just survive the fight another day. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here. I'm gonna go to some Jinx. and give you the opportunity to shoot me in the ass. But that's about the best you're gonna get. And I'm not giving you anything better.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? You have one opportunity, but if you miss, then...
Yep, absolutely. I'm gonna try to collapse this. I see how you flew lead, you navigated to the attack window very nicely. You didn't overshoot my flight path. Good job on that.
Just nervous. You know what I am? Intimidated.
Well, you're firmly defensive here. This is the best position you could be in. All you have to do is not overshoot, visualize my flight path, navigate to the attack window every time with your range angles and closure under control, and you will maintain your offensive in like aircraft. Alright,
Who's using R3?
Gonna collapse the radius here. Good job. Nice shot. Nice shot.
Can I say something about intimidation or psychological pressure? I've been taught from some great guy back in the days, and that I have that I carry as an earring. You're never fighting a person, so it doesn't matter who is the opponent in the jet. It doesn't fucking matter at all. Because you're fighting the jet, right? You're fighting an F-16. No pilot can do more than his plane can do. So if you put that in your head, you're taking off the psychological pressure that you're fighting this or that guy. You're fighting an F-16, and you should know what the F-16 can do, right? If you see it if you look at it that way, it takes off the pressure, right?
Yeah, I like that. That's
Yep, and that's absolutely true. And if I was going to a different aircraft, right, like you'd beat me every time hands down. Like he's absolutely right that it's just, it's the aircraft. The difference is the room for error that you have and how often your opponent will make mistakes and, kind of how close the margin is in the beginning to decide how the flow is going to be, right? I'm going to go ahead and respawn here, sorry.
Yeah,
I had to open a window.
Sure.
We can, and Captain is here too. We can switch slots, and for example, I fly with Captain, and you Stackhouse watch and comment what he's seeing.
Sure.
One option.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Let's. You want to do that now, or?
No. You go. You guys go. It's a great evening. It's a great session here.
Yeah, that's very good. I learned a lot already. I always say to my students, like, you can be an excellent driver, for example, in your car. But if you don't know you have to stop for the red light, you're going to crash. So
Sure.
you could drive for 30 years and not know that and be lucky enough to survive it. But it's you really learn from other people mainly. I think you can practice and that really helps, and it's really necessary. But you're not going to be really good until you learn from others. And it takes a bit of ego swallowing.
I'm actually a little bit confused here because I thought you were going for a 2-circle, but your aspect is not one that... Like, I lost you, and then when I reacquired you, your aspect was not something I was expecting. So I don't know, did you go for a 1-circle there?
Who knows?
Oh, okay. Well, it is what it is.
You see him now? You don't see him, right?
Dude, like you say...
no, I see him,
I'm,
using God's G here. You probably have an excess of energy. You're kind of in an oblique though, don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and go vertical, kind of see how things pan out.
What's interesting from my perspective of you, if you fly versus Iceman Fred or I fly versus Iceman Fred seems to maintain the angles longer and better, right? So it almost looks like you and me, Stackhouse, like are more the energy kind of guy. Whereas Iceman Fred is more the angular thinking guy, and which is the right way to do it.
Yep.
Because consider you have missiles.
Yeah, but then in a missile fight, I would enter it entirely differently, and so you. I mean, like you'd enter it differently, right? So hey, lucky me. Yeah, that's just like okay. So yeah, you would enter it differently, which is why I think. I mean, I understand you turned her into a gunfight, but I think in the real world, which we're not in the real world, like I know that, but in the real world, I don't think fighter pilots will go into a fight that fast that often because they know that they can be outcircled with missiles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
So-
it's a really rude awakening when you spend a lot of time in BFM servers, and then you go into a server where people have missiles, and you do something that you wouldn't do, and you just kill
Oh, you're
yourself.
toast, yeah.
I literally did
Yes.
that on like DDCS. It was like a mirage. I was like, oh okay, I'm gonna pound this guy. He has no energy. He's literally on the deck. I don't care. And I literally just came straight down on top of him, bypassed him, went straight nose up, and he just fired a magic right at my ass.
Here's something what I can say to this. Never give the opponent too much room and too much time. Time
Yeah.
to gain and room to pull, right? So
Yep.
if you wanna balance out those nuances, you can do that. But you have to keep him under your toe. You have to keep him committed under the pressure. So if you give him too much time and too much room, whatever your game plan is, he can read it and he can exploit it.
Anytime you're not, creating angles, the angles are being created on you, assuming they
Yes,
see. They
yes,
see you.
pretty much.
Yeah, very good point. Appreciate it.
So
Okay,
it's definitely a trade-off.
I need a break anyway, so AS, you want to jump in?
Right, I can jump in. Where are you? Here we go.
Oh shit.
Arena 2. You ready?
See, going against AS, I know
Go,
that
go.
my brain's gonna fry soon.
Alright. Well, you never know. I lose too, man. So there we go.
Oh, it's not even just winning or losing. I just know that the observations I have to make are much harder with you. And like the trust, it's almost like we can both take very small windows and do some things with it.
Yeah. There's a lot of flight path separation, which I do like. We are not merging wing on wing.
Oh wow, okay.
So
For
we're
very
about
good
the
reason.
same lead turn. So good thing he's going to go ahead and use that in a vertical. I'll do the same. I'm assessing where he's at. I'm going to come across the turn circle a little bit, and we'll see kind of how we deal with it. Turns into the spiral. He must be gaining a lot of speed because he is separating from me. So
Yeah.
in
It's
a
def-
circle or two, or at the top of this, I'm going to be in a really not great spot. I know that already right now.
Yeah,
So
and I think
for now, and AS knows it also, but for now, what I'm going to do is to at least neutralize as much as I can.
Oh, sorry.
Right?
Very
I know
nice
that I'm in a
move. Very nice
situation
move.
where I'm going to be defensive, but I want to take as much of his offense away as possible. Right?
Sorry.
Very nice move. What I'm trying right now is basically waiting that you come down, and at the moment we're busy coming down, trying to gain the angles back, like use that window to gain the angles over the top, while you have to come down.
Yep, and now I know, like in my heart, I want to come down, right? And most people probably would by now. But you have to just kind of accept that discomfort, knowing that by you coming down, you're actually securing your fate faster, right? So I'm just making the best of the not great situation. So right now, it's, it doesn't look like AS is offensive because he's on the other side of the turn circle, but he's very offensive.
I'm very tempted to pull in more, but we are high altitude, so I'm going for I'm flying with 2 fingers on the stick. So, right, I try
that's what I
to
talked
maintain
about.
my advantage with the expanded turning rooms and the higher speeds we have because we're really high. It's very tempting to pull a little bit more here, but that's very bad, right?
Yeah. So I'm using his contrails to kind of assess where I'm at. I'm slightly outside of his flight path. And I would say very, very slightly offensive, but in geometry alone. Because for me, if I wanted to secure this and cut across, right, I would be offensive momentarily, and then I would be immediately very, very defensive. So I'm just kind of flying along his flight path, seeing how this plays out. And he's in the time I've moved around this circle, he's moved 3/4 of a circle. Right? So there you go as far as like energy difference. So if I'm gonna go inside of this turn circle, try to use geometry in my favor, moving a bit shorter distance to move some of these angles back. And we'll kind of see how this goes. Even pulling into this, it's just my airspeed's getting lower than I want it to be.
What I like a lot is the contrast, because you can really see I'm outside of your radius, so I'm lag pursuit, right? That means lag pursuit. My radius is bigger than yours. And if I go inside of your contrast here, I do it for the sake of showing. Then I'm inside of his radius, which is lead pursuit, right? Yeah.
So we have this rate fight, which is just as dangerous as a quick rate fight right over the ocean. It just takes a little bit more time for the true offender to be kind of realized. And probably in 3 or 4 circles it would be AS. I'm gonna hang here.
Yeah, man, we can do this forever.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna do that. So let's mix it up.
Alright, so I see him exiting, so I'm going to go ahead and take his flight path. I see he's created an attack window for me, but I see he's 2.9 miles away, so there's no way I'd be able to navigate there. This is neutralized
I'm
entirely.
expecting you to enter lag pursuit, basically to dive into my low 6 with a lot of energy. That's what I'm expecting. What do you... Yeah, exactly.
So there's not... Let me see kind of what this turns into.
Yeah, that was
There's not really too much you can do to maintain too much of an offensive at 2 miles, right? Like, it's really tough, so... See
we are too fast, we are we are too fast, and we are too separated. Now we're trying to slowly get closer to each other.
You need to drag them down.
No, not necessarily. The geometry can change here.
The server.
Alright, so I'm gonna overshoot his flight path.
That's good.
I'm gonna accept... and now he's changing up, so now I gotta change up my game plan. So I'm gonna navigate to his attack window. Wait for that rate explosion, there it is. Go ahead and turn in, I'm a little bit low on speed. And I would imagine just from historically playing with him, this is where he sets up these fucking crazy reversals where all of a sudden you're defensive as fuck.
Yep.
And that's just, you know, a little bit about psychology of, you know, knowing your opponent and whatnot. Whenever I see that, I'm very, very suspicious of AS at any point.
Yeah, now I'm pulling like I'm staying horizontally more than you go oblique. The reason is because the oblique costs you more time and more energy, and that's why I stay a little bit more horizontal in that one turn. Oh, that's tricky though.
Try to redefine a little bit. I don't want to continue fighting him at his game, because I know he's very good at that and I will eventually lose. So if I go to redefine the fight, and then he does the same thing. So this is what I'm talking about, Fred, of like having a game plan but reacting to what your opponent does, right? So like, I had a game plan, but I'm also reacting to him. He sees that I changed my game plan, and he's able to react to me too, despite me trying to fly outside of, you know, his game plan that he originally wanted. Alright, so he's very offensive here. I'm just outside of his guns. And on the other side of this turn circle, he will probably kill me, unless I do a big excursion here and try to buy myself time. The best I can do, and I know, is buy myself time to live. So I'm going to do a big energy excursion, go straight down to the ground, dump it all, except being defensive, because I know that that's the best I'm going to get here. I'm going to nose up still just to not give too much turning room. I don't want to give any more than I have to. I'm going to go ahead and put my lift vector on him and try to give him another geometry problem to solve. Okay, see how he enters, he goes vertical, I'll do the same. Lost me for a second here. I had him against the clouds, I'm still pretty defensive, and I see he's going in lag pursuit, so he's probably getting a bit more energy to chase me down. And I'm going to relieve stick pressure and get more energy also. He's giving me breathing room, so I'm going to take the breathing room for what it's worth. Where did he go? I completely lost him. So
That's right above you, right above you. Not offensive.
Yeah.
Top cannot be high. Because you just warped from high to low.
Alright.
And I think I flamed out, did I? Yeah, I flamed out.
Oh, there we go.
Good fight though. Alright.
Woo! Alright.
Captain, wanna jump in? Captain.
Yo, what's up? Oh, I'm in one with Aries right now. Do a few more. I'm sure he'll lag out very soon.
So, okay. One more Stackhouse?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Sorry, I got bored. I want to shoot Aries.
Alright, we're gonna his speed is a bit fast and I enter the same. Go for the 2 circle. Now I fake the 2 circle, go for the 1. Oh, and he did the same. And he did a lot more than me. He's fine, but I should have pulled a bit harder. Use that energy in the vertical. He's gonna take away my turning route. Use a slight surplus of total energy. Come down, see how he reacts. Alright, cross the turn circle. Vertically, try to meet him on the other side of the circle, and he again takes away my turning room.
I'm transitioning from lag to lead here. I'm back to lag.
So I'm going to try to take away turning room from him. This is not a good position for me to be in. I want to regain some energy. And I see he's biting for some energy using some exclusive use turning room, which is not very good for me. I need to get out of this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and just do an excursion to save myself so he can't use exclusive turning room. Exclusive turning room being room at the bottom while I was at the top.
Very well put. That jump exclusive turning room that I've heard the first time among DCS people, and I liked this instantly, and I instantly understood it too. So, but I've never read about that jump exclusive turning room.
Yeah, it's in the Art of the Kill. It's not explained as much as I would have really liked it. I feel like I began to actually understand exclusive use turning room when I kept getting fucking wrecked by people when I watched enough tack use, and one day I was like, oh my god, that's exclusive turning room.
Yeah.
So he goes over the top. My energy is good, but not as good as his. So I'm gonna go ahead and bite.
Yeah, I'm inviting you. You should be aware that I'm trying to invite you, right?
Yeah. And he's over the top. And this is the position I don't like being in because I know it's very, very dangerous in these scissors. So trying to... He's outside of my bubble still. Alright, so trying to move that corner.
FPS is shit.
Into my corner, or into my bubble. Still outside, and at some point I'm expecting to feel very defensive at the bottom of this circle. This is just kind of a rate at the same time. While you're outside of each other's bubble, it's a 2-circle fight. If you're inside of each other's bubble, it's a 1-circle fight to reduce downrange travel and to get your nose on, obviously, but reducing downrange travel is typically the winner of that fight. So I'm a bit low, he kind of exits this fight, I'm a bit low on energy, he again takes away my turning room. I'm going to do the same thing, so he's going to go ahead and do out of play maneuver, I'm going to counter with an out of play maneuver of my own. And I gained a bit too much energy there, probably giving him way more angles than I would like to. And if I look back, yes, and of course he's right there. Go ahead and climb in this rate. Looking back, where is he? There he is. The question is, does he have enough energy to get here with guns? I think he does. Maybe? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm good at all.
Yep. Rest and pepperonis. Great fight. Great fight.
Yeah, I have to make my brain work though. We have to be patient as fuck and use small windows
Yeah.
to
it's such a-
disalign neutrality, right?
small
Because
window.
neutrality kills me.
Yep.
Alright, now someone else, please. Iceman Fred, Captain.
I'm still in the fight with Eris.
Who do you want me to replace?
Alright, I'm jumping out Arena 2 Blue. Are we ready?
Yep.
3,
Are you
2,
getting
1,
offline?
and I'm out. Take it.
Are you getting offline, AS?
No, I'm still here, but yeah.
Oh,
Enjoy
okay.
you guys, man. It's your session, I'm just
I'm not
guest
gonna
here.
say too much anymore, guys, because my girlfriend's daughter is trying to sleep next door, so just take it easy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man.
But I'll listen.
Why is FPS so bad today? Jesus.
It's because there's so many people on it.
Oh my god.
Please tell him not to record tracks and just tag you. I think the CPU has to deal with all the clients.
According to him, the CPU is barely under load.
Yeah, the same for me. I mean, I have a 5-6-year-old CPU, it's barely on the load, right? But for some reason, you have those low
Just
FPSs
responding to work email.
and lags with a lot of people, so it's very weird what's happening.
I feel like since the last update, it got way worse. I also feel like I'm better with the stick, definitely, but I still feel like I'm like fighting myself.
Oh, you're on the
rest of it.
pressure one, right?
Yep.
Oh, how do you
It's-
like it?
I love it, but like, you know, after a combination of not playing for 2 weeks, right, and having a new stick, like, I really feel like I'm kind of fighting myself. It's so hard to
Yeah.
explain. Like, you know, the motions are
Yeah, I use
kind
it
of
too.
built in.
I
Oh
like
yes,
it.
you know what it's like. Yeah.
Is it worth all that money though?
Yes.
Is it really that good? Like, is it? Have you ever done formation flying with that shit?
I would imagine that I could. very
Yes,
much
have you
easily-
touched one of these sticks? It makes your penis feel amazing.
Yeah, that too.
Bingo.
That's all. That's the only thing that really matters.
So
You know
I
you
kind of
can turn off
recognize
that
that gun solution there and just really slightly relieve pressure, knowing that I would probably skate just forward in your gun sight. So I'm going to do an excursion here to kind of get you out of this very, very offensive situation. See how you react. Okay, E goes over the top. Not bad. I know you're going to be at a low energy state. I'm going to take the time to gain some more energy, giving you some turning room, but hoping that I can utilize a surplus of total energy in the next couple turns. Alright, going in lead, going in lag. And I'll bite. Why not? I will bite.
See, when I see someone turning one cycle like this, like Iceman Fred did, right? Then I know he did that for a reason, because he knows he has
Yes.
less speed.
Absolutely. So it's like this split second where you're looking and you're thinking, do I bite or do I not, right? And usually it's like, so you have nothing to lose there. And I saw you kind of putting the nose on, and I was like, nope. Whenever you kind of get hits on somebody or the situation's turned in your favor, you'll start to see when you're offensive them like really pulling into these like high aspect solutions, because in their mind, you know, it's the
Don't
best they
follow
can
us.
get. And yeah, good job there, not following. So when you have a deficit of energy and someone does this maneuver, if you know, the only time you follow someone up is if you know you have the energy to do so.
Yeah.
But if not, the best thing that you can do is to just say, fuck it, extend for knots, get energy, and then come up.
If you follow someone up, right? Because he's climbing and climbing and climbing, he's bleeding off. Let him get enough energy, and because at those speeds you can go lead pursuit, pull once hard over 550, right? Because you won't lose that much speed on the 16 if you pull hard to adjust your intercept, get an intercept trajectory, and then unload. Because in a climb unloaded, you really go up like a rocket. Don't climb and pull at the same time. That's very bad. Get the smackers and then just go lead and just unload the stick.
So I was actually kind of curious about that. Because you had a significant surplus of energy, and you probably did the best thing you could with it in thinking about it. I wasn't expecting you to do that, so I commend you on that. Alright. That's definitely something that keeps people alive in BFM, just being unpredictable.
Yeah, he's sitting in your pocket. I call it pocket low 6. He's sitting in your pocket and waiting for you to come down or whatever, or to gain speed to catch up. And you have to trust your energy and just do not come down.
Yeah.
Unless you don't have energy, then you have to come down.
Nice job. Nice job. Yeah, and that one I think I really assessed your energies like at the end improperly. I was just not reacting very well to your out of play maneuvers. But that's actually like what I'm talking about. Whereas when you are creating solutions, right, and your opponent isn't necessarily reacting, and that's exactly what happened there. Whereas I wasn't reacting to your offense effectively, and you just kept getting more offensive, more offensive, more offensive over and over.
Let's switch it from you.
You guys want to do some King of the Hill after?
Sure.
I gotta go walk my dog soon, so I'm gonna do probably a few more with Iceman, and then I'm gonna go. Oh, I didn't even look at his speed. What does he look like? Okay.
It's hard to fly and talk at the same time, right? You're like multitasking.
Yeah, it is, but I enjoy doing it at the same time. It's like the additional thinking too, but you get better at it the more you do it. That's kind of the thing. And
I'm gonna go check in on Sandman Dragon.
yeah, man. Alright, so I think right up here you actually have maybe a slight surplus from me. You're gonna be... I was gonna think you were overshoot criteria, but you weren't just then. Alright, you're gonna go down for some energy. I'm gonna do the same, because I don't want you to use energy that I can't use. So let's go ahead and accept that.
Okay, can I say something about this
overshoot
one?
criteria? Let's see if we can make it work.
Nice.
Put a couple shots out for psychological effects. Sometimes people see the shots and they react very poorly based off of the shots I've found. I'm gonna go ahead and stay in the lead. Try to push you down more. Nope. Alright. Nice reversal. Very nice. I know that was a one-shot type of deal.
Yeah, he's really good on those.
Absolutely. Alright, gonna try to collapse this radius.
He will collapse it faster from the bottom up, right? Be careful.
Yep, and relieve. Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
That's what I said, he will collapse it faster from the bottom up.
Yep. Very good.
That's the interesting part. If you're in jets, the guy on the bottom collapses the radius faster. If you're on World War